Hello, my name is Greg Goldfarb. I'm an attorney. Today we are located in downtown Miami, Florida, right outside the new Miami Marlins baseball stadium. Welcome to my video blog. Today we will be on part 2 of the video blog entitled, Should I Buy Automobile Rental Insurance When I Rent My Car? In my first video, I explained that the answer is not simple and it depends on many factors. Many people choose not to save money, and many people choose to do so for extra protection, even though they do not know whether they are actually getting extra protection or not. Today I'm going to be discussing all the different types of losses, economic and otherwise, that one might go through if they're in an accident while driving a rent-a-car and have the unfortunate experience of going through one of these. The purpose in me explaining the basic losses that one might go through is so that you can make an informed decision down the road after you go through the due diligence that I recommend that you go through to see whether you should, in the future, purchase the automobile rental insurance. In my last video, I explained that I was going to do a 3-part series here. However, after going through some of the issues, I realized that I probably should break it up into more videos, so I expect to have more than 3 videos in total. But let's go through some of the types of losses so you can understand really what you will be up against if you have to make the decision on whether to pay the $15 to $40 a day for rental insurance versus not paying for the rental insurance and then getting hit with a big bill after an accident. So here we have your typical fender bender, and the most obvious 2 types of damages that one would be faced with and one might have to pay for in this scenario is the damage to your vehicle and the damage to the other person's vehicle. In this particular situation, we have automobile A, which is an insured, is a rental vehicle. Automobile B most likely is not a rental vehicle, but that too could be a rental vehicle, and that might also increase the chances of having other expenses which you could not foresee and which might not be covered under your own automobile insurance. So here we have property damage and we have property damage. In addition to the actual money that's going to be spent to pay to repair the damage to both vehicles, there are a few other economic realities that are at stake here. One is this vehicle is probably going to the repair shop and is no longer going to be in use during the time that it is being repaired. The automobile rental company is going to want to get paid for the time that this car is off the road, because they normally would have it on the road and getting money for that. So that's what we call loss of use. If this car is also a rental car, you might be faced with a bill from this rental car company for also their loss of use. In addition to loss of use, there's going to be a towing charge. There's also going to be administrative expenses. There's also going to be the diminution of value of this car. So obviously after an accident, a $30,000 car might all of a sudden be $15,000, and you might get a bill for that as well. So those are the types of damages that can occur to these vehicles. Now, you might not actually have a car accident. You might have an accident where you drive into a building, or drive into a tree, or drive into somebody's house. Same type of scenario happens there. What losses is that person or that business owner going to suffer as a result of your negligent or your accident? Even if it's not your fault and you get hit and then you run into something, the property owner might hold you or want to hold you accountable. So the damages, the economic damages, really the sky's the limit in terms of what the economic damages might result from an accident either that you cause or that is no fault of yours at all, but basically results from your driving a rental vehicle. In addition to the economic damages associated with the vehicle and the vehicles involved, you also have medical damages as well. You yourself could be injured and require medical treatment. You might lose work, and you might lose business opportunities because of the accident and the time that you have to spend either in the hospital or getting back to recovery. You might also cause medical injuries to the other driver, and this driver might have pain and suffering, and this driver might have loss income, and this driver might have medical bills, and this driver might want to hold you accountable for that as well. These are all monetary amounts that really the sky's the limit. You might have the unfortunate experience of actually killing or maiming someone, and the bill for that would be extremely high. In addition to the losses that I covered, and it's not the full amount, there's also administrative expenses that the rental car company might want to hold you accountable as well. So the purpose in you hearing all the different types of losses that one can be held accountable for when you're driving a rental car, whether it's your fault, the accident, or whether it's someone else's fault, is that when you take the next step and you call up your insurance company to see what you're covered for and what they will cover you for in terms of when you're renting a car, and then when you take the next step of seeing what your credit card would cover for, you now can see a couple of things start to materialize, which is, what is my insurance actually going to cover? How much coverage are they going to afford to me? And what should I do about any other types of losses that I might sustain that are not covered?